Yeah, I started birding as a kid, and there's a little bit of a debate among the people that actually care about this. That's the difference between birding and bird watching, which bird watching is really just sort of, some would argue that it's basically like taking bird seed and put it out in your backyard, and you're just kind of like taking in the things that come your way, as opposed to there seems to be a more action implied in birding, where like you would go to, let's say, Panama or Costa Rica and go down to this like places of migratory, whatnot. But I started both of those things, I guess, when I was a kid, because I grew up in suburban/rural Virginia, and I could walk out my back door and into pretty dense forest very easily. And so I did that, and my dad was really good at letting me go and explore. And out of all the sort of wonders that are in a forest, I happened to connect to the bird part of it, and it was just something that I sort of stuck with in secret until I got to middle school and high school, and it was totally like, not into birds, I'm into ladies, It's almost meditative, where I went out recently, right before I came to New York, in Los Angeles. There's a place called the Bologna Wetlands, the Bologna Marsh, and I went very early in the morning, and I was just by myself, and you're just listening, and you're watching, and you're just very present. And I felt physically my shoulders loosen, and then tighten back up when I saw this one thing that I hadn't seen ever, and I was like, oh my God, yes! So no, it is very calming and very, centering.
Oh, then there was another one, because one flew up to the left.
Yeah, there were two. He's still there.
I try to, I know a lot of people sort of, as almost proof, they take photos of it. I don't, for the most part, also because the few times that I've tried, I haven't had like a really high-tech camera on me. I've had my iPhone, which, depending on how far away the thing is or how quick it is, I'll say like, look, this is it, and it's just like a weird blur that could be just like a booger on the screen, But for me, it's only for me. There's no competition, so I don't need to prove to anybody that I saw this thing. So I usually just take a minute and look at it, and then you start with that sort of presence. You notice little things about it, whatever that thing is. I just saw this thing the other day, same Bologna excursion, a thing called a sora, which looks almost like, I would almost want to say like an agile chicken, a sexy chicken, which is something you never thought you'd say. And it moves so quickly, and it will disappear right in front of you. It'll still be there, but it's just so perfectly camouflaged, and you just look at it and be like, wow, like the marvels of nature. As a kid, I did certain things, and they thought it was cute. Like, I would have these binoculars, and I would like set up these bird feeders that I made. And some of my childhood friends, who I'm still close with today, they knew about it, and they were kind of like, yeah, this thing that Ian does, But as a sort of working actor, not a lot of people knew it. And I kind of kept it to myself because, as sad as this is to say, there's this idea that it's not like sexy or cool, and so many young actors, especially when they're first starting out, are really worried about, well, what if this makes me look a certain way? And like halfway through season 3, I was like, man, I do not care anymore. I just can't do it. And so I started like talking about it more often, and as a result, Keegan will send me these photos of any bird he sees. Sometimes it'll be like a photo and there's clearly no bird in it. It's like an open sky. And he's like, what bird is that? See, you can't tell. You suck. here with the worst birder ever. Like, Keegan, there's nothing here. Yeah, I think they all find it somewhat novel now. But I mean, for me, it's just such a joy.